Projects rise and fall depending on one major element: the people involved. Those are your stakeholders. Here is the truth: if you don't know your stakeholders, then you don't know the people you're working for. This is Figure Out PM, where we break down the message of project management into something you can actually use. My name is Valerie, and if you're figuring out things the way I am, then you're already ahead of the game. So, who then is a stakeholder? A stakeholder is anyone who is impacted by your project or has the ability to influence it. It is not the boss, it is not your client. We are talking about the person paying for that project, your project sponsor. We're talking about the people working on the project, your project team. We're talking about the people setting the rules, the regulators. We're talking about the people using the final product, the end users. We're talking about your partners. We're talking about your suppliers. We're talking about people from different departments. If they can benefit from your project, if they have the ability to influence it, or they could even stop it, those are your stakeholders. Why do stakeholders matter? Remember that you are not carrying out your project in a vacuum. You are not doing an experiment in the lab alone. You are delivering to people, and people have opinions, people have needs, people have power. They can support you, they can block you, or they can do both, depending on the day. So what happens if you ignore your stakeholders? You're going to launch an application after spending so much time without conducting the users, and then you finally launch it. What happens? Nobody uses it. Why? Because you didn't involve your stakeholders. You didn't get feedback. You didn't know what to prioritize. You didn't know what is relevant to the users. And what are the results? Waste of time, waste of energy, waste of money. Working without your stakeholders is like flying blind. So what then do you do as a project manager? Remember that as a project manager, your job is not to just manage tasks. You're also managing people. Make sure you identify your stakeholders. Understand their needs. What do they care about? Keep them in a loop. Constantly update them. When people feel involved, when people feel like they can give support, they are of high priority to your project, they are likely going to support you. Let's break it down. The first thing you need to do is identify your stakeholders. Know who is impacted by your project. Know who can increase the rate at which your project moves forward. Know who can slow it down. Understanding this gives you a high interest level. Don't assume at this level. Don't say that this person cannot have an influence on my project. The next thing you want to do is understand their interest level. In every project, your stakeholders have different interests. Your project sponsor wants the project delivered on time and within budget. Your team members need the way forward. They need guidance. Your end users want valuable product which is easy to use. Your vendors want a high contract paid on time. So you need to have an understanding of this. The next thing you want to do is map their interest levels in terms of power, in terms of interest. So how do you do this? You can use a simple chart. You identify the power, then you identify the interest. A stakeholder who has high power, high interest, you keep them close and very engaged. A stakeholder who has high power, low interest, you just keep them satisfied. Don't overwhelm yourself. A stakeholder who has low power, high interest, you make sure that you keep them updated and engaged. A stakeholder who has low power, low interest, you just monitor them. Don't focus too much. This helps you know how to engage with your stakeholders. The next thing you want to do is communicate. You communicate early, you communicate clearly, you communicate regularly. You can do this through emails, you can do this through WhatsApp, you can do this in Zoom meetings or on site. The most important thing is make sure that you communicate. Reason being that stakeholders don't like surprises. If you want to get support from your stakeholders, make sure you reach out to them early enough. When you reach out early enough, you're going to provide them with the progress of the project. You're going to receive feedback from them, and at the end of the day, you will be supported. So you are our stakeholders, and we make sure that we identify your needs. How do we do this? We look at the comment sections, we look at those who are subscribing, then we come together as a team, and then we prioritize your interest level. We make sure that we give you the best. If anything I've shared today resonated, if it ignited a spark, a question, or even just a feeling, then hit the subscribe button. And my commitment to you alongside with my team is simple: to consistently bring you real, honest, and valuable content that helps you figure out project management one conversation at a time. Thank you for being here.